Sea Change, written by Cho Vosailangi, illustrated by Ropate Kama. Something wet licked Maku's toes. "Go away, dog," Maku mumbled sleepily. It licked his toes again. I said, "Go away," Maku grumbled. Maku stood up and rubbed his eyes. Now, where was that naughty dog? And why did his toes feel wet? Maku looked down at his feet in surprise. "Tutu, Tutu," he shouted. "Why is there water splashing through the floor?" Tutu appeared at the door. He looked sad. "It's the sea, Maku," he said. "It's the sea." Maku rushed outside to look. Small waves were whispering over the sand and playing around the feet of the old house. "What are we going to do?" asked Maku. "Could we build a wall to keep the sea away?" Tutu shook his head. "That's a good idea," he said, "but I think it is too late for my little house." Tutu shied. "We are going to have to leave our home, Maku," he said. Maku was sad. Why do things have to change? He wondered. He reached out and gently took Tutu's big hands. They stood together quietly and just looked. "I have lived here ever since I was a small boy," Maku said Tutu quietly. "Look, I carved my name here when I was your age. And over here, this is the palm tree used to climb." Maku looked up at Tutu and smiled. "Don't worry, Tutu," he whispered. "I'll help you pack all your things. We can build you another house." Suddenly, Maku had an idea. "Look," he said, "maybe we could build a little house up there, Tutu." He pointed up the hill. Tutu just think it would be lovely to live up there. We could still see the sea, but it wouldn't be able to lick our toes anymore. You could sit in the shade under the trees. We could plant some flowers beside the house, and we could grow pawpaw and eggplants and chilies, he added excitedly. Tutu went back and looked at the flowers outside his house. Then he looked up the hill towards the trees. He gave Maku's hand a squeeze. "I think you are right, Maku," he said. "I think my flowers would be much happier living up there. I don't think they like the salty water very much." Tutu grabbed a suitcase. "Well, then, young man," he said, "if we are going to move, we had better get busy." Maku smiled a big smile. "Our new house will be beautiful, Tutu. I know it will, and maybe I will still be living up there when I am an old man," he said. Tutu laughed. "Maybe you will, Maku. Maybe you will." And Maku did. And that's the end of our story. Okay. Thank you, everyone. So rising sea levels are the bringing changes to Tutu's village. The first question, what other changes do you see? What other changes do you see? Okay, when Mr. Po was reading the story to
My My name is Mark, and I'm gonna be talking about what are the changes on the sea. What Mr. Poe was saying on the story is Tutu and Maku built their house next to the sea.
And what happened?
And the water came into the
The
house.
sea came into the house. That's right. That's the change you saw. Good job.
Okay, thank you. Second question, which changes are positive?
All right. What are the positive changes? Anyone? Positive means a good thing.
Good thing.
What was a good thing that happened in this change?
Maybe I know that
Manoa?
Marco and Tutu went up to the hill and built their house.
Yeah. Good one.
Number 3, which changes are negative? Even. Sorry.
The good change is the reason why they built the house up the hill is then the salt water wouldn't leak there too anymore. And the other one is that the flowers didn't like the salt water, so they needed to build it up the hill. The house.
Good job, Noah.
Last questions, which changes are both?
So meaning which change happened that was a good change and a bad change, but it had to happen.
They were changing the house up the mountain, and Tutu lived their city as a little child.
So that was the negative change, right? It was a very sad situation.
Okay, thank you, boys and girls. This is our story from Sea Change that was written by Cho Voselangi, illustrated by Ropate Kama Vinaka.